wasn't born a legend. He wasn't born a master. Before the name Musashi echoed through centuries, there was only a boy called Takezō, a child lost in a world that loved war more than life. From the ashes of a broken era, from the force of Miyamoto, from a rage he could barely contain, he carved a destiny that would outlive empires. Japan in the late 1500s was a land in constant collapse. The Sengoku Jidai, the age of warring states, had devoured lords, families, kingdoms. Castles rose and fell like tides. Villages burned, banners changed, nothing stayed. In 1584, in the small village of Miyamoto in Miyamoto Province, a child was born into this chaos. His name was Shinmen Benosuke, though the world would soon know him as Takezō. His father, Shinmen Munisai, was a master of jutei and sword, a man known for precision, discipline, and a temper sharper than steel. He taught his son not with patience, but with bruises, not with kindness, but command. Takezō grew up in a place where strength meant survival. He was tall, rough-edged, awkward, and frighteningly strong for his age. Villagers whispered that the boy felt more like a storm than a child. When Munisai left home around 1592, Takezō's world cracked again. Without guidance, without affection, the boy turned wild. Into the forests he wandered, wrestling with shadows, sharpening sticks into weapons, letting rage fill the emptiness where childhood should have been. By 1600, the nation reached its breaking point. The Battle of Sekigahara, the war that would unite Japan under Tokugawa Ieyasu, erupted like the final roar of the dying Sengoku-era. Takezō, 16 years old, charged into the battlefield with nothing but a crude spear and the hunger to prove he existed. The battle swallowed him whole. Bodies littered marshland. Arrows fell like rain. Screams drowned the sky. It was not glory, it was slaughter. Takezō survived, not by skill, not by wisdom, but sheer animal instinct. But the boy who crawled out of Sekigahara's mud was no longer human in the eyes of many. When the war ended, Japan began to settle. Takezō did not. He returned home not as a soldier, not as a hero, but as a stray dog roaming the wilderness. The people feared him, and he feared nothing. A dangerous combination. What Takezō needed was a master. What he got was a reckoning. In the months after Sekigahara, Takezō wandered through provinces, hungry, wounded, and increasingly violent. He used his strength to survive, and survival became his obsession. He challenged anyone who looked at him wrong. He fought without discipline, without form. He won many duels, not by skill, but because no one expected a half-feral youth to charge like a beast. Rumors spread. A demon roams the road to Miyamoto. A boy with the eyes of a wolf fights soldiers and bandits alike. Takezō cannot be killed. By 1604, officials issued warnings. Takezō was no longer just feared, he was hunted. And fate sent the one person capable of stopping him, Takuan Soho, the Zen monk who saw through the illusion of strength. When Takezō was finally captured, broken, bound, bloodied, villagers wanted him executed. Takuan refused. Instead, he spoke to Takezō with disarming calm. "You are not a devil. You are a boy drowning in his own fire." Takezō screamed, cursed, thrashed against his ropes, but Takuan didn't budge. Days passed. Something cracked, not his bones, his pride. Takuan stripped away the name Takezō, a name that belonged to pain, chaos, and ignorance. He offered a new path, a new identity. From this day, you are Miyamoto Musashi. It wasn't a blessing, it was a challenge. Become worthy of the name, or let the old self consume you. Takezō died on that floor. Musashi stood up in his place, hungry, determined, uncertain, but finally free. The newly named Musashi began his pilgrimage across Japan, not to seek glory, but to understand the sword. He was 20, poor, dirty, unknown, but he had something no school could teach, a will that nothing could break. Between 1604 and 1605, Musashi fought duels across western Japan, in taverns, riverbanks, shrines, narrow bridges. Some were friendly bouts, many were deadly. Each fight carved him a little further from the chaos of Takezō and shaped him closer to the master he would become. But his greatest trial awaited in Kyoto. The Yoshioka school, Kyoto's pride. By 1604, the Yoshioka clan were the elite of the elite. Their dojo trained aristocrats, samurai, and children of noble families. They represented tradition, exactly the thing Musashi had never known. Musashi challenged them anyway. First duel, Yoshioka Saijuro, 1604. At dawn, Musashi arrived late, on purpose. He knew anger breaks discipline. The duel lasted seconds. Musashi struck Saijuro's arm and sent the master collapsing. Yoshioka pride cracked. Second duel, Yoshioka Denshichido, 1604. Humiliated, the school sought revenge. Musashi accepted. Denshichido fell just as quickly. Yoshioka pride shattered. The ambush, the 70 warriors, 1605. The clan plotted a final duel. The new head of school would be a child, Madashichido, only 12. But it wasn't a duel, it was a trap. 70 armed warriors hid in the trees. Musashi sensed it the moment he arrived. He struck first, cutting down the boy master in one clean blow, ending the clan's lineage in an instant. Then the ambush thundered around him. The forest became chaos, shouting, blades flashing, dust rising. Musashi moved like flowing water, unpredictable yet precise. He cut through the ambush, wounded but unbroken. One man, 70 opponents, no defeat. Kyoto would never forget that morning. After the fall of the Yoshioka clan, Musashi disappeared from Kyoto, not to hide, but to rebuild. He wandered across Japan as a nameless ronin, living on river water and temple scraps. The wild Takezō was gone, yet the man called Musashi was still unshaped clay. He sought out masters quietly, watching, listening, absorbing. He fought duels in shrines, on bridges, in empty dojos, some friendly, many deadly. Every battle carved away another layer of the chaos inside him. For the first time, Musashi trained seriously with steel, understanding weight, grip, timing, the discipline he never had as a boy. A turning point came when he instinctively blocked a strike with his short sword and countered with his long, two blades moving in harmony. From that moment, he practiced morning to night, forging the beginnings of Niten Ichi Ryu. Whispers grew. The two-sword ronin, a man who never hesitates. His style sharpened, his mind cooled. He learned from farmers, monks, storms, birds, tides. Everything was a teacher. And always in the background, one name followed him, Sasaki Kojirō, refined, elegant, deadly. The only swordsman whose reputation matched his own. By 1612, a message reached him. Kojirō would face him on a lonely island. One duel to end an era. Musashi accepted, not for glory, but to face the last shadow standing between him and the master he was becoming. The island of Funashima was silent that morning. The sea, calm. The air, heavy. Fishermen gathered, sensing history breathing. Kojirō stood tall, graceful, composed, holding his near-meter blade, Monohoshizao. His legendary swallow cut was said to be faster than a bird's wing. Musashi arrived late, stepping onto the sand with a wooden sword he had carved from an oar during the boat ride. Kojirō threw away his scabbard. Musashi answered, "A man who discards his sheath expects never to need it again." Kojirō struck first, a blur of silver lightning. Musashi stepped into the attack, not away, breaking the rhythm of the perfect cut. One strike, clean, final. Kojirō collapsed, eyes wide with disbelief. Musashi bowed, no triumph, only understanding. He walked away from the shore without looking back. The world called him undefeated. Musashi called himself unfinished. After the duel, Musashi turned inward. He served the Hosokawa clan as a teacher, not of killing, but of clarity. He painted, wrote, studied wind, stone, and silence. Strength became stillness. In 1643, he retreated to Reigandō Cave. There he wrote the Book of Five Rings, not a warrior's boast, but a manual of perception and truth. In 1645, sensing his end, Musashi sat in meditation, back straight, breath calm, and left the world as quietly as a candle fading in its own time. His grave is uncertain, but his path, from Takezō the storm to Musashi the duelist, to the philosopher who saw through all illusions, still guides anyone seeking mastery. Some legends burn bright, Musashi endures. If you enjoy stories of history and power, remember to like this video and subscribe so you won't miss the next great legend.